Hello and welcome to season 1.5 of the Gamers Watch podcast. Off-season, episode 16, are we calling it? It's the Pokemon special. It's the Pokemon special, yay! I don't really know what else to call it because it's not season 1, it's not season 2, it's not the off-season, it's not the on-season, but fuck it.
Is
Pokemon
it filler?
special.
Is this filler?
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Yeah. No, this isn't just filler. This is great content brought to you by the Gamers Watch podcast.
It's crossover episode.
Yeah, it is. What is this, a crossover episode? James is going to be so annoyed that we said that in this episode. So, let's introduce the show. What a great way to run the intro. With us today is Shaun, as always. Say hello, Shaun.
Hello, Shaun.
And we have got the return of the king of Pokemon, so no pressure for the quiz later on. Striblob Tom is back.
Hello.
And we're going to basically just spend the next hour talking about Pokemon because yesterday Pokemon Snap released, but through the magic of audio-visual editing, we actually recorded this about 10 days before Pokemon Snap came out. So we don't actually know what it's like. We haven't played it, but man, we're all looking forward to it. And we just thought, wouldn't it be cool to just talk about Pokemon? Because 2 out of 3 of us here have got Pokemon tattoos, so we quite like it.
Wait, you not got a Pokemon tattoo, Tom?
No, I don't have one yet.
Oh, I like the yet. Let's go.
I mean, it would probably be Slowpoke, wouldn't it? It would have to be Slowpoke.
That's got to be the first one.
Be.
I got my little Rowlet
it needs to
on
be
my leg.
Slowpoke, but with your beard.
Yeah.
Slowpoke with my beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a wise elder.
Yeah, like the Slow King that's in the Pokemon movie.
Yeah.
But just with a nice, firm, rugged beard.
I could do that. I mean, I probably won't, but I could.
You could. I mean, technically you could. Whether or not you do, that's
Yeah.
a completely different story. But it is an exciting time because, Tom, you play Pokemon Snap on your Twitch account.
Yes.
Pokemon Snap is probably my favourite Pokemon game of all time.
It's so good.
And what a great excuse to just get together and talk about Pokemon. It's not a bad excuse, is it?
Not really.
That's
No,
the perfect excuse.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be listing off every Pokemon. Frankly, I haven't caught up with the last sort of 2 generations of Pokemon.
It's just an hour of us reading Pokemon names. Number 1.
Number 487.
Cuts to an ad halfway through. Comes back. Number 630.
So I can blast out the 908 Pokemon poker rap if you want me to.
No, it's okay, Tom. We'll save that one for the Patreon. But it's just a good excuse to get together and talk about something that all of us have a genuine love for. Now, me and Tom went to primary school together, and Pokemon was a huge part of our lives.
Got banned,
I would
didn't it?
say
Cards and
it did
everything.
get banned.
Yeah.
They ban it in your school?
They did.
What? We never got it banned.
Do you want to know a story of my earliest memory of Pokemon?
Is this when you
Was
duped someone out of a shiny Charizard or something?
No. Complete opposite, mate. The very first pack of Pokemon cards I ever opened had a shiny imposter Professor Oak.
Nice.
And I didn't like it, and I swapped it for a Rattata.
Oh, mate.
Had to be a Rattata.
Yeah. I swapped it with
Oh,
Melby.
Harry.
You'll probably remember him, Tom.
With who?
Melby? Was he called?
Oh, yeah. No, he's him and one of my really good friends. They're partners.
Yeah,
Now,
he
so yeah.
convinced me to give him the shiny imposter Professor Oak.
Oh, wow.
Because it's a trainer card and you can't play with trainer cards. And that card now is worth like £1 million.
It's worth quite a lot, isn't it? It's
And it was the very first Pokemon card I ever pulled out of a pack.
He was the real imposter, wasn't he? Duping you out of that.
The bastard.
What a bad man.
What was he called?
But
Melby.
we've all... Melby. Melby.
Imposter Melby.
Imposter Melby. But we're all the same age. We all are from an era where Pokemon was basically life. And I'm really interested to know, red, blue, yellow. What did you start with?
Who are we starting with?
Just anyone. Just go for it.
Go on, Shaun. You go first, mate.
I started with none of those because my parents hated video games. So
Fair enough,
my
then,
first-
Tom. So, Tom, what did you start with?
Great story.
my first owned game, like my Pokemon game, was Sapphire. So I started
You were
third
Gen
generation,
3,
but
yeah.
I played the first
Wow.
two from all my friends in school whenever they like had their
Fair
Game
enough.
Boys on them and that.
Nice.
Okay, so then what was the first game that you played? Do you remember that?
Oh, I think it was yellow because if I remember right, I was amazed that there was a Pikachu next to me all the time.
That's the one.
So yeah, that
So I'm
would
pretty
be
sure
yellow.
it was yellow, unless
Now,
I
Tom-
played red or blue and didn't realise it.
Tom, I think I'm going to have a guess here. And
Yeah.
it's a 50-50, but I'm going to go with what I know you're like. And I don't think you would have gone for red. I think that you would have gone for Pokemon Blue as your first game.
You are 100% correct. I did go for
Yes.
Pokemon Blue. I believe
And I reckon that you chose Pokemon Blue.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. It wasn't a case of like me going into Curry's or Comet at the time. My dad going, "You getting that one?"
That one. Well, I'll tell you why I know that, Tom, is because I actually remember that you were the first person to let me play Pokemon in school. I was the first time I ever played Pokemon was your copy of Pokemon Blue.
Was it
And
actually?
it was on my sister's original Game Boy that wasn't a Game Boy Color.
Oh my
And
goodness!
you let me play your Pokemon Blue.
Is that when we used to bring? Because we used to have like game days, didn't we? At the end of the year,
Yeah.
where you bring in like toys or games you could play with. And I think I always bought in my Game Boy.
Yeah, and it was just before the May bank holiday at school, and my birthday is the last day of May, and I remember playing Pokemon Blue, playing your copy of Pokemon Blue,
Wow.
and fighting in the Elite Four, because you'd got to that point. I remember playing it, and the next day saying to my mum, I want Pokemon for my birthday.
Aw.
However, I didn't want Pokemon Blue because you had it, so I asked her to get me Pokemon Red.
Then we could exchange in dodgy Pokemon trading deals where we could dupe each
Yeah.
other out of rare Pokemon.
Thanks to you, Tom.
Oh,
I've got
mate.
a Cubone skull on the back of my leg.
Do you know what? You've got a much better memory than I have. I've clearly had a Slowpoke use amnesia on me or something because I didn't realise that. That's cool.
vivid.
Ah.
It's a really vivid memory that I've got in my head is playing your Pokemon Blue and being amazed at the fact that I was Ash, and it blew my mind. But I
That's so
wasn't because
cool.
you called yourself Tom, but it blew my mind that you had a Blastoise, and I was like, "That's amazing." And yeah, that's my first.
He
memory.
was my first starter. I don't think I chose my favourite. I just sort of saw there was a Blastoise on Pokemon Blue. I went, I have to get Blastoise. That the game has chosen for me.
It's chosen for me. That's the one. So you were a Blastoise user.
I was
Shaun,
a Blastoise boy.
Obviously, you got into it Gen 3.
Yeah,
Grass, water, fire.
I was a Torchic person. That was my first
fair
ever
enough.
Pokemon.
It was the wise decision for that
Yeah,
gen.
Well,
and I still love Blaziken to this day.
that rounds it off quite nicely because I was a Bulbasaur boy
Well, there we go.
and I always pick the grass starters. They're my favourite.
See,
I
I
love grass types.
I don't have a type favourite. I just sort of go with... So, like, Torchic was my first Pokemon, so... But I don't pick fire each time, so with the new... No, not the new gen. The Gen 4, I think it was, I picked Rowlet, and Rowlet is one of my favourite Pokemon ever, just because
Yeah.
he's a cute little owl.
Cute little round boy.
Yeah,
I
he's
love
so
it.
he's so chubby, and in the anime, it makes me laugh as well. So I just go by looks, base. I'm a very vain person. I go by looks with my Pokemon.
I picked Bulbasaur because I specifically remember the episode of the Bulbasaur where he's vine whipping, and I just remember that, and I was like, oh, I really want Bulbasaur just because of that one episode.
So you didn't go for Charmander because of the episode where his like lights going out and you felt sorry for him. You're like,
No.
fuck him.
Yeah, I never really liked Charmander that much. I'm not a big Charizard fan either.
I think he's a bit overrated. He gets a lot of
Yeah.
attention. To be honest, as does Slowpoke in the series, but I'm not complaining about that, am I? But it's always like the Charizard Pokemon cards are worth the most money. He gets two
don't
Mega
get it.
Evolutions. What makes him so special? And if
I
people
know.
are listening thinking, I love Charizard, I don't care.
Yeah,
I do, I'm sorry.
Don't forget, he's also the main, basically the main Pokemon in Sword and Shield's champion.
Yeah. I feel like Pikachu might as well not be the mascot at this point, and Charizard should be.
can you imagine how much better that film would have been called if it was called Detective Charizard?
Just Charizard, the tiny little detective cat
Yeah.
smoking a pipe.
That would have been amazing.
Detective Charizard, I'd watch that.
Case
But
number
I
one,
just-
arson.
Oh,
It was
myself.
me.
Shit. But I'm just a big fan of Bulbasaur. And it was only in the later years that I realised why I liked picking grass-type Pokemon is because it makes the game easier, and I had no idea. Because basically there is no difficulty level to Pokemon, but choosing your grass-type as your starter gives you an advantage with the first 3 gym leaders. Whereas if you pick fire or water, you're going to struggle in those first 3 gyms. And I think just me being lazy, I wanted to have the easiest Pokemon. And I remember getting to Brock and Vine Whipping him and being like,
Done.
Oh, done. See you later, boy.
Also, if you played Ruby or Sapphire, grass is by far the easiest because it's 80% water Pokemon, that game.
Yeah, and again, obviously I picked grass type because grass, bug, and flying are my 3 favourite types.
Oh, I'm glad you like bug types. There's not enough love for bug types.
Too many spiders.
I love.
I know you think that sort of enemy design is lazy, but
No,
I like Spinarak.
I was gonna say they've only got 2, have they? Out of thousands of 1,000 Pokemon.
I think you've got like
the Spinarak,
Joltik and Galvantula.
I forgot about Joltik.
I think that's Unova, isn't it? That's Gem 5.
Yeah, I forgot about Joltik.
There are ones I forget about because there are so many of them now.
There's the one, I can never remember his name, but he's got really spindly legs, and it basically looks like a sort of fish bowl for a head, or like a bubble.
Raquinid?
I can't remember what it's called.
I think it's called a Raquinid.
There's him as well. Okay, so 3 evolution
He's
lines.
in
And Jupiter is its pre-evolution.
Is that in Gen 4?
I think it's 6. It's Sun and Moon, actually, I think.
Yeah, it's quite late
7,
on.
isn't it? Yeah, 7. Tested the knowledge already, and it's not even quiz time.
Oh,
It's
God.
not even quiz time.
I'm not looking forward to this quiz. I'm going to be shit.
I'm worried.
I haven't got any pressure. That's the only thing I've got going for me is there's no pressure because I'm going against the Pokemon guy.
My whole channel could be ruined thanks to you guys.
So Shaun,
I'll start playing other games.
You say that Ruby Sapphire were your first endeavours into Pokemon.
My first
did you
owned endeavours.
So did you ever play Snap or Stadium or any of those?
Yeah, I played all of them around friends'
good,
houses
good.
and that. It was just because my parents are so strict with video games, it was like I was allowed one home console sort of thing, which ended up being PlayStation. And like it took me ages to convince them to let me have a handheld, which at the time was the Game Boy Advance. So Pokemon Sapphire and Ruby were the first gen sort of thing that I personally owned. But I did play all of the other Pokemon games around friends' houses and that.
Well, that's okay, because for me, Pokemon Snap is my favourite ever Pokemon game. I think it takes the medium of Pokemon and just... Pokemon Stadiums were fun, especially with the mini-games, but it very much was just Pokemon fighting. Whereas Pokemon Snap was something very, very different. And it was... I remember playing it for the first time, thinking like, oh wow, like that's what they look like up close. And I know that sounds really stupid.
Not at all, because you get to see them in like the real world.
Yeah.
What the Pokemon world would look like, and it was.
And I remember being like, this is what it would be like to live in the Pokemon world, and it sort of broke my brain a little bit as a kid. And I've always had a soft spot for that game. And obviously when you started streaming it, Tom, I was in those streams every single time. And I was like, you need to throw the pester ball at the Grappler and then it will...
I couldn't remember. I've played it so many times, but I
know
just...
that game like the back of my hand.
Oh dear. I hope you enjoyed watching me struggle, because it was. But I loved every minute of it.
It was great, and one of my biggest regrets is that I sold my N64 a few years ago for absolute chump change. Yeah, so I'm Nintendo 64-less now.
Oh man.
However, Retro Joe, that we talk about basically every episode, he's got the power and the tools and the technology to rebuild it. So he's potentially going to be building a Pokemon emulator system for me.
Ooh.
And it will have basically every Pokemon game ever on it up to the Switch games, which will be quite fun. And it will, it'll be quite fun.
If you told me that such a machine could exist as a child, I would have probably just like flatlined right there. It would have blown my mind.
Your chin would have hit the desk.
It would have gone through the floor, mate. It would be on the doctor's rug. As it was.
Do you remember the this is remind me when you're saying about Pokemon Stadium, the Pokemon Stadium stations they had at McDonald's?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I spent more time at McDonald's playing Pokemon than I did eating McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I actually spent more time in McDonald's eating Pokemon and playing McDonald's.
That's so dumb.
Tasty Taurus burger, yummy.
Ah, that's so dumb.
Sorry, it's late.
So it goes without saying that obviously we're all massive Pokemon fans. We love Pokemon. However,
It's alright.
what I want to know is, what Pokemon do you love the mostest?
Oh, mine's a three-way tie.
Now, Tom, we know yours, Tom.
I do have a few more as well because
Gotta be
they've
Slowpoke.
sort of changed over the years.
okay.
I remember, I think when it first came out, I absolutely loved Coughing because I like Team Rocket and James, like his original voice actor. Oh, what a legend! Like there's ew sort of like mannerisms to it. And
I'm
so
not doing an
Coughing
impression.
was my favourite. Just because he'd come in with his happy, smiley, like grimace on his face and be like Coughing, and it just made me really happy.
He was the friendliest carcinogen ever.
Yeah, and I mean, I can really relate to him now because I'm a very gaseous human being. So yeah, Coughing's on the list. Obviously, Slowpoke's there because he's pink and I love him and he's adorable. For Gen 1, that's Kabuto. I'm still trying to get my shiny Kabuto because I want to catch it in a Safari Ball. But yeah, I think Kabuto's a great design.
That's a good shout. So my favourite is very boring. My favourite Pokemon is Eevee.
Oh, what a guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I was going to go Dragonite because I know how much you love Dragon.
No. I had a cat called Eevee that I named after the Pokemon. Eevee was the first Pokemon tattoo I ever got. I never used to evolve my Eevees.
Keep it as is.
Yeah, I used to just
like
love
that.
having an Eevee.
I like that you could do that though. It's a really nice touch, isn't it? That you didn't have to make it like its strongest, sort of in quotation marks. You could just play it your way.
Now, outside of Eevee, I would say that Ninetales is my favourite good Pokemon. Ooh. I absolutely love the design of Ninetales. And I would also say Arcanine is also a favourite of mine.
Like in those
which goes against everything I'm saying, because I say that I love bug, grass and flying types. My two favourite Gen 1 Pokemons are Ninetales and Arcanine.
Hey Shaun, I hope the questions later are like, oh, how many tails does a Ninetales have? I think I can get that one.
They're a little bit more difficult than that, so thank you, Dan, for that.
What type is Solrock?
He's a rock type.
Mine's three-way tie for the top, I'd say. Two-way tie for second place, one for the very top. But
I've got a feeling that you really like Delibird.
Honourable... Fucking hell. My least favourite Pokemon, and this is just because he pisses me off in every Pokemon game for some reason, is Pseudo-Wudo.
You don't like Delibird? Wait, who don't you like? Delibird, did you say?
No, I don't mind Delibird. He's like indifferent to me. But Pseudo-Wudo, I hate.
Oh no! Oh, we're gonna fall out.
He pisses me off.
We're now rivals.
Pokemon Go, he breaks out of every fucking ball.
Maybe you should do better.
I would also
throws.
say that I absolutely hate Onyx.
Onyx?
Yeah.
Why?
Boring.
I've got my
You're
friends
rock
list
snake.
up now, and I'm moving you both down.
But
Putting that reason as well. Doesn't like Onyx, doesn't like Pseudo-Wudo.
I'll do some honourable mentions first as well, because I've just this Pokemon coming flung back. I really like Grimer for some reason, and Muk. Coffin as well, like Tom, and Galarian Weezing is one of my favourite like regional variants I've ever seen, just because the little like top hat for a funnel and the mustache.
Like, what's it? It's called a stovepipe hat, I think. I think that's like the sort of the top hat.
Yeah, it's like the factory funnel.
Yeah, I love it. You've redeemed yourself.
He's so good. And there was another one. Oh, Lickitung. For some reason, I love Lickitung as well.
Oh my! The Lickitung mini game in Stadium. Licky, ding ding, ding 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 ding. It's. I love that mini game. It's so good.
Yeah, my joint second favourite Pokemon are Rowlet, as I said, and Jigglypuff.
Yeah,
you love your Jigglies.
The anime. So I always loved it when he would have his like little hissy fits and be like, "Pow!" and like just go proper big. My favourite of all time though is Gengar, without a doubt. Yeah, I love my Gengar. Yeah. I don't know why, because I'm a really, really wussy person as well. So Ghost is my favourite Pokemon somehow.
I like that because if you can like what you're afraid of, then it kind of
you're
takes it away.
Fighting your own demons.
Yeah, exactly. And he's cute in a scary way. I've
also
another honourable mention.
Go on then.
I think it was X and Y. I think it was X and Y. Was it Trevenant, the like haunted tree? I thought it was a really cool design.
It's a bit different, wasn't it?
That's it.
Now you're probably gonna think that it's really weird, but I love Mareep.
No, nothing wrong
Don't
with
know why.
Mareep. It's very
Mareep.
cute.
Just think Mareep's really cool.
Sheep boy.
Yeah.
I like it when it's big and fluffy. I still love Ampharos, but cheapy Mareepy is the
there's
best.
something about Mareep that just butters my toast.
What about Whale Lord?
Yes, I've got my big plushy Wailord in the back. I've got all my chunky Pokemon in the back. Got my Snorlax, got my Wailord. What's that?
Sorry, there was another honourable mention. I'm looking at my plushes now. There's 2 honourable mentions. I'll just say the evolution line, like Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and Poliwrath. I really like. And Axew is the cutest little fucker going.
I'm looking through my cards now because I'm like, I've just named Gen 1 because I was on a big sort of Gen 1 hype. But I love Rhyperior, Rhydon's evolution. Alolan Exeggutor because it's so ridiculous. I like the ridiculous
that
Pokemon.
Is bonkers.
Like, I'm happy with that. Who else is there? Oh, Impidimp and like Grimmsnarl from Sword and Shield.
Impidimp was weird.
The shiny ones as well look cool.
Trubbish.
Garbodor.
It's so strong. Smell and design.
Have you seen the anime episode of Trubbish at the preschool?
Yeah.
It's
I
ridiculous.
love Trubbish. I showed Harriet a picture of Trubbish earlier, and I went, I love this Pokemon. She just looked at me and went, no, and then continued what she was doing.
It's an amazing Pokemon.
The anime episode.
I love the fact that is your life, that you just go up to Harriet and you're like, I like this Pokemon. Go away, Tom.
Yeah.
The anime episode
But
as
I
well.
like it.
The anime episode as well was basically my primary school life. This piece of trash, like going up to groups of kids, being like, "Do you want to play?" And they're like, "Fuck off."
You stink. Get out of here.
You trash. Get out of my playground.
Get out of here, garbage boy.
I was going to say something, and I don't think I will, because you'll probably have to cut it out, so I won't say it.
You can tell us afterwards.
I'll tell you
release
afterwards.
It as,
I'll make a note of
we'll,
it.
We'll
slap
release
to
it
us.
on our. We'll release it on our non-existent Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we all know what each other's favourite Pokemon are, but favourite Pokemon game. Obviously, I've already said that I really, really like Pokemon Snap, and I would just say an honourable mention to the Mystery Dungeon games. I love the Mystery Dungeon games, and also Pokemon Ranger. Man, I love Pokemon Ranger.
I tell you what, I never really got into it, but I actually watched my cousin play through it.
I just like swishing round with the stylus loads.
Again, like it's got to come up with sort of like gimmicky sort of, but it works. Like, it was again another really interesting installment into jobs that sort of happen in the Pokemon world. It was another sort of dive in, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really
breaks from the
caught
norm.
my imagination.
Yeah, exactly.
What about you, Shaun? What's your favourite Pokemon game?
See, I'm trying to think of something other than Ruby Sapphire because that is.
It's
I'm
okay.
biased
Ruby
towards them.
Sapphires. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't lie to yourself, Shaun. If they're your favourite, don't lie to us.
They are my
We're all
absolute
friends.
favourite because even like playing Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire as well was amazing for me. But I'm trying to think of like sort of spin-off games that I really enjoyed.
I mean, Pokemon Go is phenomenal.
Yeah,
It still is.
I still play it. I play it
same.
way too much. Yeah, I'll go with Pokemon Go. Just purely for the amount of hours I put in.
I'm going to break off a little bit because Pokemon Go, that first week that it came out, was unlike any week in human history, I think. And me and Shaun, we used to work together at the same at that time when it came out.
Yeah.
And I remember that we went down to Torquay Town Seafront, and there was
the
probably about
fountain.
1,000 people there.
Yeah, there was tons.
There's probably a 1,000 people playing Pokemon Go, and one person shouted, "There's an Aerodactyl down here," and 1,000 people ran down the road.
Crazy, isn't it?
All of us chasing this Aerodactyl.
Amazing.
And then right at the top of this massive hill, this giant rock face, one person said, "There's a Magmar!" And then all of us ran up, like, I'm not kidding, maybe 300, 400 steps to get to this Magmar.
It was fucking knackered. It was
bonkers.
I was like 5 stone heavier than I am now, and I was sweating.
You saying about that, so obviously when it came out first, it was so rare for some of these spawns, wasn't it? I remember seeing on my radar a Blastoise spawn very, very early on, and I was in pyjamas, so I just put on clothes over my pyjamas at about 11 o'clock at night, ran into town, which probably took about 20 minutes, got to it, did an excellent throw. It broke out first time. It ran away, and then I vomited because I was not a fit human being. And so the excitement and the actual having to run, my body went, "Hang on, you never do this. You're a nerd who sits at the computer all day." And my body just went, "Nope," and just bleh, all over the pavement. And I walked home very sad.
And that's the beauty of Pokemon Go.
And that's Pokemon Go.
Thank you, Niantic.
I remember the first time I saw an Abra as well was it wasn't that far of a walk. It was like 5 minutes up to Barton Shops. But I remember throwing the Pokeball. It broke out and it teleported. I was like, "Fucking even in this game, bastard runs away every time."
I've got nothing but good memories of Pokemon Go. I don't play it because in between my full-time job and my second full-time job doing this podcast, I don't really have enough time to fart these days. But oh man,
I've got it on at the moment.
I had some amazing times in Pokemon Go. It was so good. And that we had a Pokestop just around the corner from where we worked, didn't we, Shaun? And we used to, on our lunch break, we used to get an hour's lunch break and we'd walk around the corner to the park, sit in the sunshine,
Stick a
throw a
letter
couple
on.
of charms on there and just sit there catching Pokemon. And I remember the first time, because obviously the first time everyone played it, they had the augmented reality on.
Yes.
And I remember thinking, like, I'm a Pokemon master. There's a Pokemon in my garden. This is amazing. That novelty obviously wore off quite quickly, but that first week of Pokemon Go was insane.
It really was mad.
And everyone that was playing it.
Well, it wasn't just kids, was it? It was everyone. And
Yeah,
I've made some really
everyone.
good friends through that. And I think, again, that's what the Pokemon series does a fantastic job of, is like people communicating with each other with trades, meeting up for raids. I know, obviously, with everything going on, it's been a bit more difficult to do that, but they've adapted and sort of made the raid passes that you can use remotely. So I could be at home and I could do a raid in town, which I think is great of them, really.
Mm-hmm. And it really is it's even changed Pokemon, because obviously Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Pikachu came out, and they wouldn't have happened without Pokemon Go.
No.
And I don't care what people say, those games were fun.
I
They
really
were good
enjoyed
fun.
them. Really good nostalgia trip, and it looked beautiful.
Yeah, me and Shaun were talking about this a few weeks ago on the podcast, and we said exactly the same thing. They were really, really solidly made and got a lot of people into Pokemon that maybe hadn't played them before.
Yeah.
So, a massive love for the Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu games.
And I actually
Big time
wouldn't
props.
mind a Gen 2 version of them as well.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
that's
Gen 2 is my favourite gen. They
Agree.
are.
Because I was going to say my favourite games probably is Gen 2, like Gold and Silver. The fact that
Crystal
you
is
can
my
play
favourite.
Johto, do all the gyms, explore that region, and then go back to Kanto. Spoilers if you haven't played it in the last 20 odd years. But
also, I'm sure you're aware of this, Tom, but the lead designer behind Pokemon, he basically found space in the game to fit the entire Kanto map into it.
Yeah.
And at first, when the people were first working on the game, they could barely fit Johto into it. And he worked his magic to fit both regions in and then expand the Pokédex as well.
Insane.
That
The fact
was-
you could get everything was ridiculous.
That wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't the lead designer, was it? It was bugger. I can't remember his name. He was the head of Nintendo for a while, and he unfortunately passed away a few years ago.
Iwata. Oh yeah, Iwata.
Don't say Miyamoto.
No, it was Iwata, wasn't it?
It was Iwata, yeah. He was a genius coder.
Yeah, and he broke the game down, completely started from scratch, and managed to squeeze 2 games out of the one cartridge, and nobody thought it was possible. And I remember the first time beating the Elite Four in Crystal, because I didn't have Gold or Silver, I went straight into Crystal.
Moving sprites,
remember-
man, that's where it's at.
And I remember them saying, it's time to go to Kanto. I was like,
What?
what? What do you mean? And obviously the game's evolved, so it wasn't the same 8 gym leaders.
Can you
Brock was
imagine?
older.
Can you imagine if it was like, now please insert your Pokemon Blue cartridge. Take it out. Put your blue in.
Or
But I
nowadays,
think-
purchase the Kanto expansion pack for
Yeah.
$20.
Yeah.
For
A crisp
only
£50
£29.99.
note into the back of your Game Boy Color, then send it off to .PO box, whatever. Someone was making a mint off that.
Number 1.
Scan
Pokemon
your credit
Road,
card.
Japan.
And send to Nintendo.
Well, didn't you have like the swiper thing for cards? There was like one game where you could. Was it the Delta Pokemon card series? And there was an e-reader. Was that for the Game Boy Advance? I think.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that takes me back.
Yeah, because there was like a little camera thing you could get for it, wasn't there? And it read the QR code on
print
there.
out stuff, and it's all sorts of gadgets. It was great.
But I would say that Gen 2 was my favourite. Crystal is, it's tough to go back and play now. Obviously, you get the benefit of being able to speed the game up by 6 times. You don't get that benefit.
I loved going through it, doing the Nuzlocke on my channel. It was so much fun.
Now, for people who aren't aware, because obviously you are a Twitch streamer, can you just explain what Nuzlocke is?
It's basically a set of rules. I'm not sure who designed the original Nuzlocke, to be fair, but it just puts a bit more restriction, a bit more of a challenge on the Pokemon games. So you have to name every Pokemon you catch, like your starter and ones in the wild. If they faint, they are considered dead, and you've got to put them in your box. And the other main rule would be when you enter an area, you have to catch the first Pokemon that you come across. If you kill it, you can't catch anything else in that area. If you catch it, it goes into your team. You name it. You go through the game like that, so there's obviously only a certain amount of Pokemon you can end up catching, and everything can end up dying, and you have to start again. It's good fun. And I put
on top of that, there's also randomizers.
Yeah, I put a randomizer on mine, so I think my choices of starter were Smoochum, Slowpoke, or Mewtwo. So I went with Smoochum. No, I went with Mewtwo. And it was a good time. A very good time.
Fucking
So the fact that
Smoochum.
after all this time, that we're celebrating, 25 years of Pokemon games now,
25
isn't it?
years, baby!
And people are still enjoying the first gen games, and that they've managed to sort of break the mould of what they were and enter popular culture still to this day, sort of just goes to show that maybe it wasn't a little bit of a fad, and maybe my mum was wrong to say I would grow out of it.
It's always been there, hasn't it? I think it took a bit of a dip, sort of, I think between... Because I remember getting back into it with Diamond and Pearl in college, I think that would have been. And like I said, I remember Gen 3, and then there was sort of a dip between Gen 3 and 4, and I kind of didn't watch the anime, didn't really have much to do with Pokemon. I know, it's a big surprise there, actually. And then I just got back into it, and it was like cards, games, not the tattoos yet, but yeah, it's mad, isn't it, how it's just stuck around and become, it's probably even more, like, stuff's worth more now, isn't it, like the cards and all the nostalgia bits. Like, I found that Pikachu alarm clock that still works on my mum's the other day, mint condition.
And I think the best thing that's come out of it is that Jake Paul got scammed out of $1 million.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't heard about that. What?
He bought a fake shiny Charizard for $1 million.
Wow, that's amazing.
Because he's an idiot, and he's also a sexual predator. But we'll leave that for another time, because Jake Paul is poison, and I don't want to involve him in this show.
Yep.
But the Pokemon market has gone crazy. The cards, what they're going for these days, is obscene. The money that they go for.
Yeah.
And I watched your unboxing and your card opening stream as well, Tom. And I could feel the cards in my hands watching you. I could feel that crinkly, crumply.
I was like, "What Astro? Is that when you Astro
cellophane.
Project? Is that it? Astral Project?"
Yeah. And I could in my hands, I could feel that cellophane wrap that I remember the first time I had a packet of Pokemon cards from the Fremington shops, the Fremington Spa. And I remember that memory of opening them up, and it brings back such massive waves of nostalgia.
I wish I bought more.
Did anyone else ever collect the stickers as well?
Yeah, the stickers.
I remember
Pogs.
my cousin, who's like, I actually don't know how much old, quite a few years older than me. Basically used to just get them, so I had someone to trade doubles with.
That's really sweet.
So I'll get like a new pack, and then 7 in the evening, phone her up like, Tara, I've got 5 Butterfrees.
I think it was more like behind the bins, like, Tara, I've got 5 Butterfrees. What are you going to trade me for?
Give me a fucking Charizard.
Yeah. What's just popped back into my head, which I think I love the GameCube, so maybe this is my favourite, Pokemon Colosseum.
Oh yes, that's a good show.
Like, I remember getting obsessed with that because you were basically sort of a good Team Rocket member, because you'd sort of steal other Pokemon from worse people than yourself, and then purify them and use them as your own, which was quite nice. Bit of a redemption
That
arc.
was nice.
So I think, you were part of Team Snag'em. That's right. And you broke away from it. You just stole the gear so that you could steal Pokemon.
Team Snag'em.
Snag'em.
What a name. That's like Austin Powers level of double entendre. That
Yeah.
one. So, Tom, would you say that you're quite the Pokemon expert?
I want to say, for the record, no. So then if I do badly later, it won't look that...
Well, we won't start with the quiz straight away. So, as we all know, watching the anime as kids, there was always a part of the show where it said, "Who's that Pokemon?" And obviously we've got Game in 60 Seconds. So we thought that we would make a segment called, "Who the fuck are we talking about?" And we'll give some clues about some Pokemon and see if our listeners can guess them. But as a slight caveat, we will give the answers to this at the end of the episode, because I don't want to wait like 5 years for the next Pokemon game to come out before we can give the answers. So this will all be rounded up at the end of this episode. So, Shaun, you've come up with a few.
I've got 5.
I've come up.
Oh, wow.
I've got two. And they're both shit.
And I've got 1, and it's equally as bad.
So, Tom, do you want to start with your 1?
Go on, then. I'm pink.
Go for it.
There is another clue. I have many different forms.
Oh, I know that one. Done. Bosh.
You think you
Boom.
do, but think about it carefully.
I think I've got this one.
Don't forget the Pokemon quiz they done on Pokemon, where it was a Jigglypuff from the top-down view.
That's the exact sort of thinking I was going for, mate.
Okay. Well, shit, I don't have it then. We'll find out then at the end of this episode. Who the fuck is that? Now, Shaun, you're going to have to pick your favourite 2.
What?
I'll tell you what, you can say, I'll just pick one of mine and then you can do all 5 of yours, alright?
Okay.
So, my one is it a light? Is it a scab? Who knows? Is it a light?
What?
Is it a scab? Who knows? That's my clue.
I have a vague idea of who that could be. But
So stupid.
Is it a light? Is it a scab?
Is it a light? Is it a scab? Who knows?
Okay.
There we go. Paul, if you get this, dude, you need psychological help. So, Shaun, do you want to go through your 5 utter insane? Who the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, I'll try and go from like easiest to hardest from what I
very
think.
kind.
So first one is he. Okay, the first one is easy. He wishes he was a free bat.
Yeah.
Second one is you kind of need to know wrestling actually for this one. This Ric Flair prefers the dark part of the zoo.
Okay. Yep.
Third one is this woman keeps following my band around everywhere.
Right.
Okay.
Fourth one, that bone tissue transplant was out of this world.
We're still talking about like Pokemon, not themed hospital
Oh
or
my
something.
god, I got that one.
The last one. Okay, so remember
Oh, I'm gonna piss myself, Shaun.
on the season 1 finale, I said there's one that might offend some very small group of people. This is this one, and it is
Okay.
that locksmith was born with a dodgy lip.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, I'm laughing at my own fucking things. That locksmith was born with a dodgy lip.
Right.
What was the key clue in that one?
Oh.
Oh man. Oh, that amazing.
Shaun, you're an idiot. I'll tell you what, you know what, we've got to go through these now. We have to get these out of the way.
I need to know.
So, Tom, what was your one? I'm pink and I take many forms.
Oh, actually, I need to think about this one quickly.
I'm going to say, are you Porygon?
No.
Or
Pink in
Ditto,
many
but that's
forms.
too obvious.
Well, you think
He's
think
purple,
Ditto,
isn't he?
wouldn't you? Oh, he's pink. I say he's pink.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
you'd be wrong. You'd be wrong. Do you want to
I
know
have
who
no
it is?
idea.
Corsola.
Oh no, but that's so cute. Oh, I love that little Pokemon. I'm Chansey.
Because they're a nurse.
Do you know why?
Yeah.
Because doing Pokemon operations, there's got to be a lot of paperwork that comes with that, hasn't there? So hence,
Yeah.
I have many different forms.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Because I'm pedantic. And I thought, that was literally the first one that came into my head, and I went, yeah, I'm not thinking about this anymore, that'll do. And then I carried on with my day.
So, my one's nowhere near that good. So, am I a light? Am I a scab? Who knows? Any clues?
The only thing I could think of was Stunfisk, because it looks like it's like a flatfish and it's an electric Pokemon. And that's because
Shaun, have you got this one?
I've got no bloody idea. It's the scab thing that's throwing me off.
Okay, so if you have a light, what's another name? What's the thing that you put in the light socket that light comes out of?
Bulb. No, wait, plug.
Yeah.
Wait, socket. Is it?
Oh,
You
this
got
bloody Bulbasaur. Saw, because the scab saw.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need you to get
Is
into
it
your
a
mind
light?
more, you
Is
tricksters.
it a light? Is it a scab? Bulb or saw? Bulbasaur.
I can see that now. The scab was throwing me off though, because all I was picturing was just scabs. And I was like, Trubbish kind of looks like he could have scabs.
Right, talking of Trubbish, Shaun, what's your clues?
Okay, so first one was, he wishes he was a free bat.
Is that Butterfree or Zubat?
It's Zubat, because he's in a zoo.
Zubat.
Yeah. Okay.
The second one was, this Ric Flair prefers the dark part of the zoo.
Incineroar?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Ah.
Fuck knows.
So Ric Flair's, basically his catchphrase in wrestling is just woo. He just shouts woo, and he prefers the dark part of the zoo. So he is Woobat.
Fuck.
Because there's a dark type wrestling Pokemon, so I thought, oh,
There
I've got
is,
it,
yeah.
Incineroar, 100%. Oh, you
Yeah,
threw me off the trail.
I didn't think of that, to be honest. I would have done that if I thought it was insane.
Oh,
Right, Shaun,
I
continue.
prefer yours.
Next one is, this woman keeps following my band around everywhere.
What the fuck is that?
I genuinely have no idea for this one. I'm stumped.
It is Torchic.
Oh my god. Oh.
Give me strength. Give me strength.
It gets better.
I'm going to have to use
Shaun, I've got
focus
this one.
energy. Right.
So
I've got this one.
this one Harry thinks he's got. I imagine he has. That bone, that bone tissue transplant was out of this world.
Marowak.
Yep. And last one. That locksmith was born with a dodgy lip.
Klefki.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew that one. I
Shaun.
hate that Pokemon.
I'm going to have to leave for a minute, so you just talk about Pokemon, alright? I'll be back in. I'm going.
At this point, Harry left the recording for fear he was about to explode with rage at how bad Shaun's answers were. Unfortunately, in doing this, he accidentally unplugged his microphone and lost about a minute of audio. We return with Harry realizing this and plugging his microphone back in.
Right, so my audio just completely knackered, but to be perfectly honest, I'm okay with that, because all I think that we actually lost out on was Shaun laughing at himself, just insulting basically anyone with a cleft palate.
Pretty much.
So there is going to be a little bit of a jump cut, so we apologise for that, but that's what we get when we're recording at 11 o'clock and I walk away from a microphone because I'm so disgusted at an answer. Shaun.
And we're two glasses of red wine in.
Yeah, there is that as well.
Oh, have you got bevies?
Yeah, red
got a
wine.
few.
We're celebrating end of season.
Lovely. Every day's a celebration with me. I'm like, squash.
So shall we move on to the Pokemon Master Quiz?
Oh, let's do it. Let's
Time
do
to
it.
get trounced.
I'm pumped.
So now this is a quiz that's been done to us by Dan the Pokemon, and he is now going to introduce himself to you all. This is pre-recorded, so we're going to go to Dan now.
How's it going, guys? It's the Pokemon Dan here with what is hopefully going to be one of the hardest Pokemon quizzes that you've ever taken part in, unless, of course, you're a total Poke nerd like me. Now, before I get into the nitty-gritty of this quiz, I'm obviously going to give my YouTube channel and my socials a pretty shameless plug, as any person would rightly do on their first ever podcast. Yep, that is right, this is my first one. Please do go check out my socials, just search me in Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at the Pokemon Dan. It's all one word, the Pokemon Dan. Make sure you put Pokemon in. If you put Pokemon, you won't find me. It's the Pokemon Dan, not Pokemon Dan. My YouTube channel is exactly the same, just youtube.com/the Pokemon Dan. No spaces, nothing special, just plain and simple, the Pokemon Dan. Anyway, shall we crack on with this quiz? Pens, pencils, and paper at the ready? Let's go! Question 1. Pokemon Red and Green are famously the original Japanese releases of the Pokemon game franchise. In the USA and Europe, of course, it was changed to Red and Blue. During the design and programming of these games, the team was met with a programming issue, and a decision had to be made between two different playable options. The design team decided to give us the ability to nickname our Pokemon, but what was the other scrapped idea? Was it A, audio files sounding more realistic, like from the anime? Or was it B, up to 3 different save game files on the same cartridge? Was it C, animated movements of the sprites during the encounter and battle screen? Or was it D, a battle tower type arena where NPCs come out and battle you one after another until all of your Pokemon are exhausted? Okay, moving on to question 2. During the opening credits of the original Pokemon games, what is the very first Pokemon that we see shown to us by Professor Oak? Is it A, Pikachu, B, Eevee, C, Nidorino, or is it D, Clefairy? Okay, moving on to question 3. This one is not a multiple choice question. Sorry lads, and ladies as well if you're listening of course. In the anime TV series, what is stated to be the only Pokemon that can devolve, or de-evolve, however you want to say it? In the anime TV series, what is the only Pokemon that can de-evolve? Okay, question 4. Which Pokemon was intended to be a pseudo-legendary, but was then later scrapped for a more streamlined version of the legendaries we now have today? Was it A, Scyther, B, Magmar, C, Rhydon, or D, Arcanine? Okay, moving on to question number 5. Coughing and wheezing originally had very different names for the Red and Blue beta. This was eventually scrapped so they didn't cause offence. What were they? A, choke and suffocate, B, ni and la, C, poi boy and poi boys, or D, tumor and kanzor? Moving on to question number 6. Before Nintendo decided to use Pikachu as its Pokemon mascot due to the popularity, which Pokemon was previously intended to be the Pokemon mascot? Was it A, Clefairy, B, Eevee, C, Mew, or D, Charmander? Okay, question number 7. Why do Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and Poliwrath have spirals on their bodies? Is it A, similarity to tadpoles and their intestines? B, to hypnotise other Pokemon? C, represents their evolutionary line? Or D, it just goes with the name? Question number 8. Where did the Pokemon Company, or Game Freak, originally intend on ending its game line? Was it A, just after Red and Blue? B, after Gold and Silver? C, Ruby and Sapphire? Or D, with Diamond and Pearl? Question number 9. In Gold Silver, Game Freak originally intended on giving the players a new method of transport that could be used everywhere, except indoors. This was intended to replace the bike. In the end, it was scrapped for the bike with no explanation. But what was the scrapped transport mode? Was it A, roller skates, B, a Segway, C, a skateboard, or D, rideable Pokemon? Okay, question number 10, and this is the final question. We are there, the final question. Let's get into it. In the early stages of giving Pokemon their English names, there were many trialled and many scrapped. Some argue that perhaps the scrap names were actually kinda cooler. We got what we got. Gyarados, of course, is no exception to this. But what was his original intended name? Was it A, Magigon, B, Skulldragon, C, Magikraken, or D, Skullkraken?
Right, so thank you, Dan, Pokemon Dan, for those questions. And do you all have your answers? If you don't have your answers, and you are like driving, then you can just play along anyway. You know, we're not keeping score unless Tom doesn't do well, and then we are keeping score.
I feel like I've got like one correct.
I've gone very quiet, I noticed, throughout all of that. I was like...
So, I've done this quiz, and I didn't do very well.
What did you get?
I got 3.
Okay.
So, question number 1. What was the scrapped code in the game? What have you guys put?
I went with a like game designer's mind and went with animated sprites because it was implemented in the sequel.
Okay, fair enough. Tom, yourself?
I went with the 3 save files.
Tom, you've nailed it. Boom.
What?
The answer was B, 3 different save files. So
I
can you
would've
imagine
thought-
being able to play with all 3 gens all at once?
I would have thought that'd be a conscious game design decision because it stops people cheating with trades and that.
No. They wanted 3 different save files and they had to scrap it.
I think
So-
that would have been great, wouldn't it? Because then I could
It
have
would have
obviously
been.
given you my version. You could have played through. So,
Yeah.
so you wouldn't have to restart the game. But yeah.
Exactly. Now, question number 2. What is the first Pokemon that Professor Oak shows you on the opening credits? What did you write, Tom?
See, I put Nidorino, but then I went, no, I don't think it is actually. And then I doubted myself, and then I just hit my head a few times.
Sean, what did you choose?
I started writing Pidgey before you gave me options and then put Nidorino.
So it was Nidorino.
Hey.
It was Nidorino. Now, interesting fact that Dan has told me is that the sound file that they used was actually for a Nidorina. They used the wrong sound file in the original game. So when you next play it, Tom,
Yep.
check that one out.
I'm going to listen. I can have the headphones on.
Now, what is the only Pokemon that can devolve? Sean
I have no fucking clue, so I just put Ditto.
and Tom?
I think I'd get in trouble if I got this one wrong. I think it's only because I know so much about this Pokemon. I hopefully have got it right. I think it's Slowbro because is that
It's
right?
Slowbro.
Yes. Because if the Shelder falls off of its tail, it would go back
Goes
to
back
being
to Slowpoke.
Yeah.
Because technically, Sean, Ditto doesn't evolve; it transforms.
Yeah, I know. That's why it was the only one I can remember reverting back to a previous state.
It's okay. I think you'll get this next one. So,
Wait, when-
question.
Does a shoulder fall off in the anime?
It does, yeah. Yeah,
Ooh,
it does.
I'm gonna have to watch that episode.
Now, you may get this one. So,
Probably
question
not.
number 4. What Pokemon was originally going to be a legendary? Now, I know this one because of episode 2 of the Pokemon anime.
Yep.
Sean?
Because of episode
pressure.
2 of the anime.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What did you write now, Sean?
What was the options again?
Oh, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You got the questions in front of you.
No, I did. Okay, so Scyther, Magmar, Rhydon, Arcanine.
No, I still don't hope. I wrote down Arcanine.
Yeah, it's Arcanine.
I did the same.
Yeah, it is Arcanine.
Because you
I
had
was-
Now this next one,
Moltres, Articuno, Zapdos, and Arcanine was in the bottom right-hand corner, wasn't it?
he was indeed.
Yeah. I was like, what's he doing there?
See, I was just guessing because Ho-Oh's at the very start of the anime, and then I thought Arcanine's the same type.
It's a good enough reason.
I mean, it
Now
works.
this next
It works.
one, this next one is brilliant. So, what were the original names for coughing and wheezing that had to be changed? Sean, what did you write down?
Purely for the offensive route, I went for tumor and cancer.
Tom?
NY and LA,
Yeah, that is correct. Do you know why that is, Tom?
New York, and Los Angeles. Is that right?
And they were covered in smog.
Covered
and
in
they
smog.
Had,
Ah.
and they had to change it because the American audience didn't find it very funny.
Whereas I find it hilarious.
I'm surprised the American audience caught on to it.
Yeah. So, question number 6. What was the original Pokemon mascot going to be? Sean? Any ideas?
Eevee.
Tom?
A fairy.
Tom?
Oh, did it cut out? I did a Clefairy impression, and it obviously peaked. But yes, I'll do a low version.
it's-
Clefairy.
Yeah, it's Clefairy.
Oh, I thought it was Eevee because then Let's Go Eevee was its redemption storyline because it was supposed
No,
to
they-
be
People just like Eevee.
the mascot.
No, it's Clefairy. Now, Sean, you have to get this
I'm
next
glad they
one.
changed to Pikachu.
Yeah, same. Now, you'll have to get this one, Sean. Why do Poliwags evolutionary states have a swirl on their belly?
I'm hoping I got it right because tadpoles you can actually see their guts from the
Yeah,
outside.
that's the right answer. It's because they're intestines.
Yeah,
Tom, did you get that one?
Swirly intestines.
Swirly intestines.
gotta love them swirly intestines.
Little swirls.
So, Sean, you've already beaten the score you thought you were going to get.
I got 3
Yeah,
so far.
you've already beaten me.
I don't think I'll get the rest though.
So, what game series were they going to end on? Tom, what did you put?
I think gold and silver.
Shaun, what did you put?
I went, again, game design choice. I went red and blue because you should never be too greedy to plan more than one game.
Well, they were greedy, Shaun, because gold and silver is the correct answer.
Greedy fuckers.
Yeah.
Always hated Pokemon Company.
Right, I'm hoping that you get this one. I'm really hoping that you
Probably
get this
not,
one,
because
Shaun,
I've gone the game design route again, and apparently that's not a thing that's like
Okay,
viable
so
in
what
Pokemon
was-
games.
What was the mode of transport that was taken away?
I've put rideable Pokemon because they implemented it later.
So what did you put, Tom?
I put Segway.
Oh, but then they
No,
implemented
you're both
roller
wrong. It
skates
was
later.
a skateboard.
Yeah.
It was a skateboard.
Was it?
Yeah.
Ah.
So in X and
Yeah.
Y, they decided to put rollerblades in instead of the
For
skateboard
no
they wanted.
reason. Yep. Yep. Now this last one, this is the final question, and it's going to be the question that we leave this quiz on. And what is Gyarados' original name? Shaun, what did you put?
I hope it's Skullcracken because that's an awesome name.
That's what I put.
Tom? Yeah, you're both right.
Skullcracken.
Skullcracken. So Shaun, what did you end on?
4.
Tom?
I got a solid 9. So
And
I'm happy
I'm
with
guessing Paul probably got 10.
that. Damn that skateboard.
Yeah, it was a skate. Oh, mate, was skateboard the one that got you?
Yeah, I think I have bad memories with skateboards because do you remember Tom R? Tom R from
I do.
I tried skateboarding with his, and it involved me stepping onto the skateboard, immediately falling off, hitting my head on the curb, the skateboard flying into a parked car and setting off the alarm as we ran into his house. And I never tried it again.
Fair enough. Well, I think for that reason, we'll give you 9.5.
No, I
Shaun,
don't want I don't want special treatment.
We'll give you 3.5, just because I don't really like you.
Oh no, I got fucking 4.
You did get 4.
I
You
got 4, and every single one of my game design conscious choices were wrong.
Yeah. It just shows how good you are as a game
I was going to
designer.
say, what does that say about my dream career?
That you're better than the people at Pokemon, maybe, if you want to
that's
sound
what it
big-headed.
Maybe nowadays.
That's what it says. Now, obviously, we've had a few technical issues, but we are going to round the episode off just by having a nice little chat, just for a few minutes, about where we think Pokemon's going to go. Now, obviously, Pokemon Snap came out yesterday, but none of us have played it because we're in the past talking about the future. Diamond and Pearl remake looks shit, but it's coming out soon.
No!
I knew that was going to be the reaction.
And they've also got the open world game that they're working on. So where's Pokemon going to go from here?
Who are we asking first?
Anyone, just chime in, just go, boom,
I
bang,
mean,
bop.
now that they're going open world, I think because like they always sort of test it out in the game they make, don't they? Like,
Yeah.
So that obviously, what's it called? The new one. It's
Arceus, or I can't remember
yeah.
the full name.
Yeah, it's like the
It's
Legend
based
of
on-
Arceus.
Legend
isn't
of
it?
Arceus.
Yeah, yeah.
Arceus, our Lord and Savior, as he is the god Pokemon who created them all. Yeah, if they make more things like this, because I very much get Breath of the Wild vibes, Legend of Zelda, and gosh, what else does it remind me? It reminded when I saw the trailer, it reminded me of about 5 different games. And I was like, what a perfect combination. But if they crack that and it catches on, because we've been after an open world Pokemon game for donkeys now,
Yeah.
and it does look like it was obviously very early
We
stages.
have the technology. We can rebuild it.
But I think there'll be more of that, and maybe again not necessarily just you go out, you catch Pokemon, you challenge the gyms. They might do a Ranger version of that. They might do another. They said they'd never remake Snap, and here we are. 20 years down the line with new Pokemon Snap. So I guess they can do whatever they want, really. But I think I'd like to see more sort of. I like the get your 8 gym badges and then go and challenge the league. But I think just between towns, I'd like a bit more of a challenge, because sometimes it feels like you just walk up a route and then you're at the next gym. And that's the problem I had with Sword and Shield. It just felt like after you've done the initial first 3 gyms, or the first 3 like towns, shall we say, and then got to the main town, it was just gym done.
Yeah.
But again, that being said, I will always buy a Pokemon game and enjoy it and play it. So yeah, I don't really know where it's going to go, and that's kind of the
I'm going to go out on a
excitement.
limb here. I think that they will make a second Detective Pikachu film.
Yeah.
And I also think that they will, I don't want to say make a Pokemon Go 2, but I think that they will revamp Pokemon Go to modernise it slightly and maybe build in the new Pokemon games a bit more like they did with Pokemon Let's Go, I think they'll try and sort of maybe incorporate Pokemon Go a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. And they've sort of made games that can connect to Go, and you can transfer Pokemon from Go to Let's Go, and then again to Pokemon Home. There's always that you can trade up and keep your Pokemon. So I guess if they did that, you could trade all your Pokemon across from Pokemon Go to the new Pokemon Go. So it's not like you'd lose any progress, essentially.
And Shaun, you said it a few weeks ago that you hope that they do a Let's Go version of Gen 2, which I think would be brilliant.
I honestly wouldn't mind if they carried on the Let's Go series across the different gens.
Bring new people into Pokemon.
It's such a casual, although Pokemon can be casual anyway. It's such a casual game to just sit back and play with Lucia, because I don't have to worry about different stats and the IVs or EVs, whatever they're called.
I still do.
It's literally just a Ghastly will pop up and I'll be like, throw the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Whereas I go back to the Pokemon Center and look at his stats and go, oh no, Harriet, this one simply won't do. And then we go back and catch the same Pokemon about 50 times. Then I'm like, I've got to make sure it's shiny and it has the best stats. And she's like, I just want to play the game, Tom.
No, we need to get the chain combo.
I play it for 15 minutes and I swear blind that it's the worst game ever made. So we've all got our different ways. No, I really like the Let's Go games.
I was going to say, I was like, surely not. I mean, you insult the Diamond and Pearl remakes, and now this. I was going to say,
they just don't look good. They look boring.
I must admit, everyone knew Diamond and Pearl remake was coming, so it wasn't a case of they can do it. When I knew it was coming, that the announcement was going to be, I was like, they always make the remakes like the newest gen is, so it's going to be open world Diamond and Pearl, and then the trailer came out. I was like, oh, it's top down.
I like that. But it's very true to the original, and I guess that's what a remake is.
Yeah, but I was like, the Ruby Sapphire ones, they had like the Mega Evolutions and all that. And
but they're not saying they don't have it in this one. They just haven't revealed it yet.
No, but I thought like that's the trend it would follow. So like this one would be more open world because it's like Sword and Shield sort of thing.
No, that's fair. I mean, like the cutscenes, like when you go into battle, it still looks sort of like Let's Go kind of graphics and sort of the standard Pokemon. But I like that they've kept like the chibi style, but modernised it a bit. It actually reminds me of what was it? My Sims, was it for the Nintendo? Was it the My Sims series?
Yeah, I've not heard of that in a while.
It's like that and the sort of revamp that the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening got.
Yeah.
It sort of reminds me of that style. I don't mind it. That being said, I picked up Link's Awakening and then put it down after 10 minutes, so I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt here. Don't leave Pokemon alone. Leave Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl alone.
Oh, also for the future of Pokemon, with the like you were saying with the gyms, how it just feels like it's constant gyms. I wouldn't mind seeing the gyms being shaken up a bit, and so like Sword and Shield had the stadiums instead of gyms.
They were fun.
I really enjoyed them.
It was a believable world, wasn't it? Making like an event of a Pokemon battle, because that's what it used to be, like in these big stadiums. Then you never had a crowd. It's like, Brock, we just got rocks in here, mate. Come on, where's the razzle dazzle, mate?
And like a yoga mat in between you.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind seeing them have one where it's like an actual Pokemon league, sort of like following the football route, or maybe more like the NFL route. So you have the Pokemon league.
Maybe you have like a team of Pokemon trainers that you train up.
Well, no, like it can just be just you, but like you're in a league with other trainers, and you have like the main storyline. So you go off to the different areas and do different bits, but then you also have league matches that come up. So you've got to sort of balance if you don't want to get stuck in a route where like two Pokemon faint.
You saying stuff like that. You saying stuff like that. Imagine if you lost, and then because you lost, you took a different route in the story to train and get better.
Yeah, you lose points. So it's not just you go to the Pokemon Center and retry that match. You've lost that match. You don't get points.
Yeah,
but
I like that.
It then still makes sense at the end because the top ones in the league go to the playoffs and face the Elite Four.
Yeah. What if this was all in VR as well?
Oh my god, a Pokemon VR
can you imagine? But that's what I'm thinking. with all this augmented reality they keep.
What if they just made Pokemon?
Well,
They
actually,
just did some DNA splicing.
Which is real life Pokemon.
Yeah,
that's where your brain went. I was thinking, what, like Roboraptor? Or like...
like Tammy and the T-Rex.
Yeah. Pikachu! It's like, Pikachu, make me a beverage, and then it just sort of waddles and falls down the stairs. You're like, cool. Oh my god,
Well-
can you imagine? I hope they don't, because, I mean, it's bad enough with the breeding of, like, dogs and things.
Yeah, let's hope that no eccentric billionaire creates actual monstrosity Pokemon.
Here I have a lizard. Here I have a flamethrower. Let's make a Charmander.
I mean,
It will be like the story of Spy Kids 2
oh my god, I forgot about that film.
with Steve Buscemi.
Oh god, and the guy at the end where he's just got like 5 faces meshed together.
Amazing. Oh my
And the
goodness.
what is the thumb things?
Amazing,
Sometimes.
that's what they are.
They're amazing.
I
They
need
are
to watch Spy Kids
absolutely
again.
superb.
I want to watch
Well,
through
Shaun-
Shark Boy and Lava Girl again.
You go and watch Spy Kids 2. Tom, you go and watch Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Don't laugh.
I'm going to go to bed.
And dream about this splice of films that we're going to watch.
Well, no, when
And-
by the time people listen to this, I'm going to go play Pokemon Snap.
You will.
Also,
yeah, that's
Can I just say, one of the things I'm looking forward to the most in Pokemon Snap is not knowing everything that's going to happen. Because
Yeah.
nowadays, there's
Yeah.
so everything gets leaked in games straight away in this walkthroughs. I can't wait to just do something by accident and it makes a Pokemon evolve, and I'll be like, "Oh my god!" I can't wait to get that feeling
raw
back in
reaction.
video games.
I
Oh,
can't
gosh.
wait to get your message saying you'll never believe it.
Maybe
won't
a voice
spoil it, though.
message. Yeah. Because if this is this releasing the day after it comes out on the.
This is the day after
Yeah.
Snap comes
So
out.
I'll have played it because I think I'm going to play it on the Friday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I played it yesterday. Check out my stream.
Well, I think that's as good a place as any to leave it. A shameless plug for
Absolutely.
a shameless podcast.
Oh dear.
Tom, it's always a pleasure to have you back. We knew as soon as we were going to do a Pokemon episode, we had to get you involved.
Mate, I'm so glad that you did. It's been so much fun, and what a season.
Yeah, and we've got a second season starting next week, and honestly, we can't wait. We've got some really exciting stuff coming up. So
I hope there's going to be 8 seasons, and then the elite season following
Yes,
like
there will be.
Pokemon.
there
lore.
will be.
Yeah, but we'll be greedy by that point, so we'll make sequels.
Oh, hopefully, yeah. I mean, yeah.
We'll have podcasts on podcasts on podcasts.
And then, on the 25th anniversary of the Gamers Watch podcast, there'll be a podcast that does an off-season Gamers Watch special.
And that
dear.
is how we're going to leave the off-season episode. Thank you to every single person who has tuned in this week. We cannot say thank you enough. We hope you have a great Saturday wherever you are. Enjoy Pokemon Snap, and we will see you next weekend. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Ta-ta!